It was 1980, and the Winter Olympics were at their most popular. However, even with the best conditioned team ever, the chance of winning the gold was slim at best. They were up against the team that beat the U.S. All-Stars and every U.S. team they faced in exhibition. This same seemingly ever-winning team had won gold every year since 1964. So the U.S. team was just wanting to do the best that they could. But they were hoping for a miracle. They played their game, and at times it looked hopeless. But it happened. They pulled ahead. It seems before he even believed it himself, the commentator, Al Michaels, yelled, "Do you believe in miracles?" The U.S. hockey team had beat Russia, and they were well on their way to winning the gold in 1980. And this is referred to as the miracle on ice. Do we believe a hockey team could warrant a miracle? In our gospel today, the fishermen also were not having a successful run at their game. Simon even told Jesus that they had worked all day and not caught anything. But Jesus persisted, and Simon, with the belief that it could be possible, he had his men lower the nets, and we know what happened. However, this event went further than just the celebration of that miracle. Simon, James, and John gave up their profession and became followers of Jesus. Many believe that this was their aha moment, the moment when the light came on for each of them, and they fully believed that Jesus was prophet. The seed of belief was sown at the wedding in Cana when Jesus turned the water into wine. And that seed germinated when they heard him preaching from the scroll of Isaiah in the synagogue. Then that sprouted seed took hold, and this miracle of the large catch of fish, after being empty, their nets and themselves, for so long. When do miracles come to us? What does it take for us to believe that a miracle has happened and our faith in Jesus becomes stronger? This seems to be a good time to ask ourselves this question. Ash Wednesday is only a few days away, and as we all know, it begins the period of self-reflection when we come to identify a way, a change in ourselves, where we can make that change to best follow Jesus. This time may lead to our aha moment about following Jesus. So if we're about to do this, we need to look at miracles and what they are. The dictionary defines miracle as something with a supernatural cause that defies human or natural powers. But there's a biblical definition that is not just something that defies natural powers, but allows for supernatural powers, or the powers of God. So a miracle is God stepping into our world and putting the laws of nature aside for something that God wants us to see. One writer states that there are 3 terms to a miracle: signs, wonders, and mighty works. Miracles are mighty works to create wonder and act as a sign. Simon and the fishermen received the results of God's mighty works, the fish, and it created a sense of wonder in their minds, such that they wanted and were able to then follow Jesus wholeheartedly. All this was a sign for us of the power of God in our world. The only thing I may have left out here is that we also need faith. Faith to accept the miracle as it happens. If we look back to the gospel from last week, we remember that Jesus went back to his home and was being questioned about the things he had done in other cities. Jesus responds by saying, "No prophet is accepted in his own native place." This issue is even expanded on in Mark 6, when Mark tells us that not only do the people question the things Jesus does and says, but Mark tells us that Jesus was unable to perform any mighty deed there. Jesus was to have remarked that he was amazed at the people's lack of faith. Faith is needed to believe in miracles, as miracles are from the supernatural, and faith is belief and knowledge of the existence of that supernatural. Was the miracle on ice really a miracle? Was the catch that Simon and his men pulled in that night really a miracle? What about Cana? It all depends on us. It all depends on what we think is the truth. Taking time to reflect, to decide, to believe, and to follow is what Lent is all about. In the next 40 days, if we take that time to reflect, to listen, to search, we too may have that aha moment that would lead us to be better followers of Jesus. On a little bit of a different note, there is a Lenten series this year that begins on February 17th, Wednesday night. It's about an hour from 7 to 8 p.m. in the Parish Center. The themes this year will be forgiveness and mercy. Mark your calendars and hope to see you there.